I have finally tried a low-profile keyboard, and it's a high-end enthusiast-grade one. This is certainly one of the best out there. Low-profile keyboards did not attract me that much, to be honest, since the time I started the hobby. All these years, I kinda avoided this one cause lower stance made it look like those basic membrane laptop keyboards. But then the folks at the Chilkey sent me this one to try out, and I have to say, I'm kinda impressed with this. This is the new Chilkey 75 LP. The LP stands for low profile. So it's basically the popular Chilkey ND75 compressed into this new form factor, but with some very good specs across the board, including a nice CNC aluminum case, dual mounting styles, hotswap PCB with south-facing RGB LED, very good software, magnetic ball catch mechanism, great keycaps and switches, and a nice display for just $100. Is it any good? Find out in today's video. So the case is made out of slim-looking CNC aluminum case with a 6-degree tapping angle. It's available in some beautiful colorways, both anodized and e-coated. In addition to the conventional colors, they have went for some unique colorways, and I really like them. Inside of the box, it comes in with a thick silicone wrist rest, and you can also use that under the board to make the typing angle 10 degrees. At the back, you'll still find this ripple aluminum backplate. The e-coating on this case is really good and feels super smooth. I must say, it gives a pretty premium feel on hand. It's slim, not too heavy, and easy to carry in the backpack. It's matched with this nice Elsa profile double-shot PBT keycaps. The fonts are great and conspicuous, and the colorways are nice. About the PCB, it's a 1.2mm 5-pin non-flex cut hot swap PCB with south-facing RGB LED, supporting only specific low-profile switches. And so far I got to know, the board only supports proprietary switches. And that's kinda bummer, because I didn't find any switches on their website yet. This is a common issue with all low-profile switches out there. There is no specific standard. So for now, the hot swap PCB is nice to have, and when the other switches come, this will come in handy. For the plate, it uses FR4. The FR4 plate tends to show the actual sound of the switches used on the board. What sets it apart from the other low-profile mechanical keyboards out there is that the display. This is an 1-inch LCD display at the bottom right that shows various details including battery life, connectivity, lets you control various board-related functions like pairing the board, RGB mode, and if you fancy showcasing some cool GIFs. You can change the GIFs in the software. So speaking of the software, it's now web app based instead of a Windows-only executable. The software lets you program the secondary layer, macros, RGBs, and of course changing the GIFs. The UI is kinda similar to that of VIA. This is a very refreshing change. It means users of all platforms can program the PCB to their need, be it on Windows, Mac, or Linux. Speaking of which, it does have a dedicated Mac mode. As for the connectivity, it has tri-mode, that is over USB, Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz dongle with a 36 mAh battery. Yes, it's a bit smaller than the similar priced boards, but this is to maintain a slim look. Also, the PCB turn-on switch is hidden beneath the shift key. You will need a tweezer or something like that to turn on the PCB. Battery life, if I'm being honest, is average at best, and for best results, I would recommend using it in Bluetooth mode with RGB settings turned off, as the Bluetooth has 125 Hz polling rate. The wired and 2.4 GHz mode has 1000 Hz polling rate. During my day-to-day usage, I didn't see any sort of lag or latency issues, be it in wired or wireless mode. It has this magnetic ball catch mechanism that lets you open the top frame. This allows you to do things like taking a look inside of the board to see how it is, and the most important one, changing the mounting styles. Yes, this comes in with two mounting styles, top mount and Silica Gel Particle Gasket, carried over from the ND75. Silica Gel 1 is a form of plate gasket mounting with various silica gel-like socks mounted on the FR4 plate and them being suspended into the bottom case. This structure gives isolation and even sound, but it's not as flexy as the other form of gasket mounting like pour-on gaskets. And then there is the OG top mount where the PCB and the plate combo is attached to the top frame. It gives a stiff typing experience with the characteristic resonance. Depending upon which typing feel you want to have, you can switch to that. The board comes in with all the tools to let you do so. Okay, now coming on to the switches, it comes in with a full POM Aster linear switches. It's a factory lubed one. The actuation distance is at 1.8mm with 45 gram of force and 3.8mm bottom out distance at 52 gram of force. So basically, it's a super smooth linear switch that sits in the middle in terms of feel. That is not too light, not too heavy. This should be fine for most of the folks. As for the sound, it's more on the higher pitched end. The board uses various dampening materials to make it sound good along with tuned plate-mounted stabilizers. So let's hear how the board sounds in stock. The board sounds decent, to be honest. I love the way it sounds. The typing experience was really good. Though both are great, I like the top mount experience a bit more. This is perfectly usable in stock config, be it in home or workplace. The connectivity was smooth and flawless. Pairing and switching between devices was super quick and easy. It's perfectly suitable for all the users looking for a low-profile keyboard for productivity purpose. Everything about the board seems great and perfect. But there are gonna be some things that could have made this board perfect, right? Well, yes, there are three in fact. Number one, tactile switches options, and I think it's really important. Why? Because this board is targeting a lot of folks who want a keyboard for the productivity stuffs, and a lot of them are habituated with laptop keyboards. Guess what feedback those laptop keyboards give? Tactile bump. I can't imagine how great it would feel to type on this on a top mount with a decent tactile switch. Maybe even Chilkey can consider a variant with silent switches as well. Number 2. The same thing that I've said in my ND75 review. Just make the display a bit more functional than that is now, like showing more useful PC specs. And number 3. Maybe a non-display version so that the folks can get 2 extra keys. The board seems perfect, but there is a con I really got to talk about, and it's the lack of switches. As I've said before, it's an issue with all low-profile boards since the low-profile switches aren't standardized. Plus, Chilkey so far hasn't released any more switches. I mean, there is no point of this hotswap PCB if you don't have the options to put in other switches. So overall, it's a great board. For just $100, you are getting a premium low-profile keyboard with features of high-end boards. It's not often you get something like this, especially if you consider this niche low-profile segment. With that, I'm wrapping up for today. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to watch great stuffs like this. With that, goodbye and have a great day.